Okay, so Neon Abyss is a roguelike platformer that some people compare to Enter the Dungeon and Binding of Isaac and some Dead Cells thrown in there, but basically it's a roguelike platformer that has quite a steep learning curve. So I compiled 6 tips which can help you out with getting to the end. Okay, so let's just jump in immediately into one of the more important ones, and that is gear matters. Now, gear plays a major role in these games. Roguelike games always entail a lot of gear, but one thing that's a little bit different about Neon Abyss is that not all items are that useful. Now, for example, there are items that will reduce your firing rate but increase your bullet damage. There are also items, for example, that when you use an explosive, all your eggs that you're trying to hatch will explode and will prevent you from getting some pets that can help you out with buffs or just extra damage. That also includes guns. So for example, there are guns like the guitar gun that actually doesn't really shoot straight. Now it is very unique and very cool looking. Now it actually just shoots them all 360 degrees around you, but honestly sometimes I just really kind of wanted a gun that just shot straight exactly at where I am aiming. And so I really just want to advise, like, before you pick up an item, just look at it. Maybe you can remember, maybe you know it from before. Now there are hundreds of items, but sometimes just try to remember which ones are bad and prevent taking them with you if you don't want them. Same thing with guns. Now when you find a gun, don't just pick it up and move to the next room. Just first try it out, shoot a few times around, and then just see if it is a good fit for you or not. Okay, so the next step is basically explore some more. Now, when you find the boss room, it's really easy to find. It's a red door with a demon's head above it, and don't go through it until you've explored everywhere else in the level. Now, you don't know which boss you're going up against, and let's be honest, you always want to have all the upgrades you can get, all the coins, all the crystals, all the hearts and shields that you can get. So just, before you head into the boss room, be sure to look a little bit around so you know everything on the level. So having also explored every nook and cranny helps with our third tip. Now, for example, when you defeat a boss, you get some items, and when you pick those items up, you get a little portal that will lead you to the next level. Now, before you go through there, just be sure to look at your health pool. Now, if you're like me and you get hit during boss fights, and I'm like a lot, you get really hurt a lot, like I do, well, then you can always just head back into the level from which you came, and then you can just get up some of the hearts that you couldn't pick up because you were full health at that time. Then regain some health and before you head into the next level, because God knows what that has in store for you. Okay, so let's talk about some rationing. Now the first step is rationing keys. Now keys are very important because, for example, there is a gold room with a gold door that's treasure room basically, and it will lead to a free upgrade. Now the first level you will find this door pretty much unlocked, so you don't really need a key to enter it, but after that you will always need a key to get into it. And I wouldn't use my keys on every chest that I come across, because at a certain point you won't have any keys and you really will want to save a key for those rooms. So just be sure to keep an eye out for those. Same thing goes for grenades. Now grenades are very rare in Neon Abyss, which is kind of a shame because they're useful for a lot of things, like breaking some stone blocks, opening some chests with stone layers on top of them, and just sometimes they'll just literally are blocking off a room. Now for that reason, I would always just advise to get as many grenades as possible, explore the entire level before you start using them, so you know exactly when you can most optimally use them. Now for example, if I have some stone blocks blocking a certain part of a room, and behind that is another stone layer chest that I will also need to open with a grenade, then it's maybe a good idea to skip that one, because 2 grenades for 1 chest isn't always worth it. The next one basically entails the skill tree. Now the skill tree has you unlocking all different kinds of characters and perks, items and new rooms, and honestly I would really focus on unlocking the new rooms. Now the secret rooms, for example, will give you an abundance of items when you open them up with a grenade, But also, for example, the piano room will give you an access to a great gun for a little price and just completing a mini game. Honestly, just focus on getting all those special rooms unlocked so you can get some more needed items. Now for our last tip is actually just basically also an explanation of the violence and wisdom system, because the game doesn't really explain it. Now, at certain points you may find, for example, the white doors, white chests, just white shards hovering in rooms. Now, if you give a crystal, then you will fill up your wisdom bar meter in the bottom right corner. And if you actually just start shooting those shards, doors, or chests, then they will turn red with spikes, and then if you get hit on them, they will also open. Now, that will fill your violence meter. Now, there is a big difference between the two. If your wisdom meter is filled up, then you will get access to an angel room. And if your violence meter is filled up, you'll get a devil room. Now, there is a little bit difference between them. Now, the angel room will give you the choice between two items. You pick one of the two items, you leave, and that's it. But the devil room will offer 3 items, but you will actually have to choose which one, and you have to sacrifice a heart container for it. Now, in my experience, devil rooms tend to offer more offensive based items, while the angel rooms often base more utility based items. Now, I personally found the angel room better because they gave me flying a few times, and honestly I always like to have some extra heart containers. So actually just sacrificing that for an extra item to choose from isn't that much worth it for me. But that is my opinion. If you get extra crystals to fill up your bar, then the wisdom is the one I would go for, but otherwise you can always sacrifice some hearts if you're more sure of your case than I am. But those are basically my 6 tips. Now, the game is very difficult at certain points, but honestly the biggest tip that I can give you is just to keep playing over and over and over. That's mainly the secret behind these roguelike games, because once you keep playing them, you can master them, and it just makes the game really so much more enjoyable. But those are my tips. Anyway guys, if you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up so other people can find it, and if you like the guide and you want to hear some more of me, well, consider subscribing. It would really help the channel out. Guys, I want to thank you for watching. Until next time, see ya.